everyone. I'm here today with a guest design team project that I did for Christy Everlasting Journals. I will link her shop below, and she has what she calls sets, and she numbers them. So below I will link the sets that I used for this journal. It is, as you can probably tell, an autumn themed journal. So I chose sets that had this, of course, the brown and a little bit of neutral color, a little bit of green in it. And you will see when you go to Christy's shop that she has ephemera sets and then she has background sets. And so throughout this journal, I have used the background sets. So for the cover, I have printed one of the absolutely gorgeous pages you can see here for the cover, and I backed it onto craft paper. You can see here, distress the edges, and then distress the edge of the cover with gold rub and buff as well. On the spine, I've used some tulle fabric with some embroidered dots on it, a little bit of more sheer fabric underneath, and then some velvet trim here on the side, and then just some pearl trim as well over top. And I've just closed it really simply with some of this beautiful rust colored sari ribbon that I had. Just this gorgeous kind of iridescent rust color, just beautiful. So going inside then, I have used my age tape throughout and this baking paper, craft color baking paper for pockets. This pocket has part of it vintage doily for trim, a little bit of sari ribbon, and then some yellow rosette trim. And for the yellow rosette trim, it was a little bit too bright for this project, so I've just coffee dyed it throughout so that it has more of a gold color than a yellow color. Postcard here with some orange writing on it, and then use the Tim Holtz frame die and cut it out, and you can see I've used some of that gold rub and buff on it as well. So throughout this, I've used the background papers from Christie's sets, and then I've added in just some ephemera that I had on my desk from other places, just because I am in working on autumn right now. Autumn leaves music page here. So this is one of Christie's background pages. You can see this beautiful kind of turquoisey greeny color, and it's got the gold embroidery on it. So the backing papers that I've used in this journal, they are all generally fabrics. You can tell, you can see the texture in them. And I've just used one of my tabs here. I've added a few buttons too. Here I've got a bag, and on the bag I have backed the image onto some craft paper and then just distressed around it and added some of that gold rub and buff. This journaling card I have made out of the back of one of the tall journal covers that Christy has in her shop, and I of course have linked that below. And so I've just cut it up into pieces, and you'll see I've used it for journaling cards and tags throughout the journal. Just added some sari ribbon here, and on the back just stamped it note to self. And this note to self stamp and the dated stamp I've had questions about, and they are both from the Prima Something Blue stamp collection. I've had it for quite a few years now. I'm not sure if it's still available, but that's where that's from. This is a vintage French ledger piece that I had. And this is another of Christie's background pages. You can see the beautiful writing here, and then this gorgeous lace trim on the side. Another tab here. And here I have used that same back cover from that tall journal that I showed you earlier on. I've used it as a top tuck spot, backed it onto some craft paper here, and just added a little bit of trim at the top. I have made a tag out of some offcut of one of the background pages here and just added a tab, and then just added this image that I had on my desk. Here I've added some beautiful sari trim, more iridescent sari trim, this kind of gold color, and it has this kind of burgundy thread throughout. And then I've just added a couple of tags here that I've cut out, and they're on a rusted bulb pin and just some tulle here at the top. Here I have a vintage French piece that I had. I've backed it so that it's strong enough to be used as a pocket, and then just added a bit of trim. Here I have a journaling card that I've added a little bit of trim to the top, some of that velvet ribbon, some gold ribbon, and I've tried to use the gold from the front cover in a few places throughout the journal just for that kind of consistency. Another of Christie's background pages here that I've just printed full size and using it as an extra journal spot. Here is a vintage doily. On this page I have a bag that I've just added this autumn journaling card to, a little bit of that tulle on the back, and backed it with some craft paper. And then inside is a tag, again using that same paper from earlier on, and just added a tab to the top. Here is a square doily that I've coffee dyed and just folded into an envelope, more of that yellow rosette trim. And this is a journaling card that I had on my desk, a die cut that I've stamped, and then just a tag with a little bit of sari ribbon and some scrap of lace and a button. Another of Christie's beautiful pages. So this is more, I hope you can see that, I don't know if you can, but it's more of a linen texture with these beautiful buttonholes, and I think that this would be beautiful. Just print it out and then cut out those kind of blank spots in the buttonholes, and then back it with something to use as a journal cover would be gorgeous. This is the same image from the front cover that I have printed onto tracing paper and just made this bag, and then just added some coffee dyed paper for some extra journaling space. Another vintage French piece that I had in my stash. This is from Christie's kit. This would have made a gorgeous journal cover as well, but I chose to print it onto some vellum just for some extra interest throughout the journal. Here I have a policy envelope that I have stitched around. I've added that note to self stamp, and then I've just used one of Christie's background pages as a tag. I've added some beautiful fabric that I have and some coffee dyed lace and a little bit of trim to the top, and then just clipped it onto this page. This page I have added, you can see here, I've sewn in some extra paper there for some extra journaling space. Here I have a top tuck spot made from some fabric that I had, and then just added some extra just scraps there that you can see that I had in my stash. Another of Christie's background pages. You can see this is almost like a tapestry, really. You can see these all have beautiful embroidery on it. So again, just backed with some coffee dyed paper for some extra journaling space. Here I have some craft paper that I've just punched some holes in the side and just added some ribbon to. Another of Christie's beautiful background pages. So you can see here, these are the more neutral pages that she has. Added a tab with a button here. This is just a little notepad. I've just got some scraps. As I like to do in my journals, just use the scraps. I've just added my punch to the top so that it looks like it was torn from a notebook, and just some trim there as well. This is a background page from Christie's kit. You can see it's got that kind of basket weave effect. And it's this beautiful kind of straw color. And then I've just added kind of a similarly colored sari ribbon to the side. Center of the signature, I've just got an envelope here. I've just edged it with some of the gold ribbon buff that I've used throughout the journal. Used a couple of baking paper pockets with some coffee dyed lace. And then on this side, I've used that offcut of one of the backing papers for a tag. And you can see here this grid that is one of the background pages as well in the same kit. Use my note stamp here. And then in this vintage glassine envelope, I have cut some die cuts and stamped September, October, November. My thought was that whoever this goes to would want to use it for their fall memories, and so you could tab each month on the side by using those die cuts. On this side, I have a die cut that I've stamped, and then just a tag that I have added some sari ribbon and some tulle to the top, and then a pretty fall image. Another tab here, so you can start to see the backs of Christie's pages. You can see here this is the front image on this collaged paper. This is the other side of the craft page that you saw earlier on with the ribbons on the side, and I've just stamped it with my note stamp at the top and then just stamped on some lines here for more journaling space. This is a flip out page, and then here is just an extra background page. You can see that beautiful kind of greeny color, and I've just printed it almost full size and then just backed it with some coffee dyed paper and added my dated stamp there just for some extra space. Vintage lace for a pocket here, and then this is the cover of one of the tall journal covers in that tall journal cover set that I've linked below, and I've just added a few scraps, you know, some tulle, some gold lace, some of that velvet trim, and then just a button for an extra journaling space. And this is just something that I had on my desk. I thought the colors went well with this project, and so I just added it in for some extra space. The other part of that linen page with the buttonholes, and I've just glued it on the bottom here for kind of a large pocket, and added that journaling card. Some beautiful iridescent sari ribbon here. It's that rust color with the burgundy. And here I've added another envelope that I've added an upholstery fabric pocket to, added some sari trim and just some scraps of lace and so on, and then that pretty sunflower image. Another tab here that I've added some ruffled craft paper to the side. And in this top tuck spot, I've used the cover of one of those tall book covers that I've linked below, just as an extra journaling spot there. A couple of tags here that I've cut from some scrap papers that I had while I was doing this project, and then just some really pretty orange sari ribbon there. So you can see here's the back of that really pretty lace page that you saw earlier on. Just beautiful. That would have made a gorgeous cover as well. Any of these pages would have made a gorgeous cover. Another bag here, or the other side of the bag, just the image here. Again, I've backed onto craft paper, edged it in gold ribbon buff, and then just added this journaling card. Another tab here that I've added some of that gold lace and a button to. And here I have clipped on a bag that I've added an image to, and that's a die cut tag, just with some sari ribbon for the top. And then this mushroom journaling card, and that's just clipped onto the flip out of that Autumn Leaves music page. And then in the back, another baking paper pocket with some coffee dyed lace and that pumpkin journaling card. So that is my guest design team project for Christy Everlasting Journals. I have linked her shop below and listed the sets that I have used so that you can take a look at them. Her papers are beautiful, so I would really encourage you to go and take a look. They're just gorgeous. This is also listed in my Etsy shop, and I have linked my shop below for you. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.